In the late 1800s, Great Britain became strong and flourished under Queen Victoria. Much has happened from innovation and progress under Queen Victoria. His political power had a strong positive effect throughout the British Empire. Princess Victoria of England ascended to the British throne in 1837 and remained queen until her death in 1901. During this time, the Industrial Revolution took place in England. He plays an important role in popularizing new innovations in various industries. Queen Victoria supports women and fights for their rights in society. The Queen showed great interest in the affairs of women's rights. There are many Queen Victoria quotes on women's rights that are widely used by writers and thinkers. Here are some of Queen Victoria's famous quotes. Enjoy. Do not to let your feelings, very natural and usual ones of momentary irritation and discomfort, be seen by others. Don't. As you so often did and do, let every little feeling be read in your face and seen in your manner. On same-sex marriage, no woman would do that. On alcohol, total abstinence is an impossibility, and it will not do to insist on it as a general practice. The danger to the country, to Europe, to her vast empire, which is involved in having all these great interests entrusted to the shaking hand of an old, wild, and incomprehensible man of 82, is very great. I love peace and quiet. I hate politics and turmoil. We women are not made for governing, and if we are good women, we must dislike these masculine occupations. No civilization is complete which does not include the dumb and defenseless of God's creatures within the sphere of charity and mercy. The Queen is most anxious to enlist everyone who can speak or write to join in checking this mad, wicked folly of woman's rights, with all its attendant horrors on which her poor, feeble sex is bent, forgetting every sense of womanly feeling and propriety. My dearest, dear Albert sat on a footstool by my side, and his excessive love and affection gave me feelings of heavenly love and happiness I never could have hoped to have felt before. He clasped me in his arms, and we kissed each other again and again. His beauty, his sweetness and gentleness. Really, how can I ever be thankful enough to have such a husband, to be called names of tenderness I have never yet heard used to me before, was bliss beyond belief. Oh, this was the happiest day of my life. May God help me to do my duty as I ought and be worthy of such blessings. The government should take a firm, bold line. This delay, this uncertainty by which, abroad, we are losing our prestige and our position, while Russia is advancing and will be before Constantinople in no time. Then the government will be fearfully blamed, and the Queen so humiliated that she thinks she would abdicate at once. You will find as the children grow up that, as a rule, children are a bitter disappointment, their greatest object being to do precisely what their parents do not wish and have anxiously tried to prevent. Good Hockheimer keeps off the dock. For a man to strike any women is most brutal, and I, as well as everyone else, think this far worse than any attempt to shoot, which, wicked as it is at least more comprehensible and more courageous. The great event of the evening was Jenny Lind's appearance and her complete triumph. She has a most exquisite, powerful, and really quite peculiar voice, so round, soft, and flexible, and her acting is charming and touching and very natural. I don't dislike babies. though I think very young ones rather disgusting. The Queen is most anxious to enlist everyone in checking this mad, wicked folly of women's rights. It is a subject which makes the Queen so furious that she cannot contain herself. When I think of a merry, happy, free young girl, and look at the ailing, aching state a young wife generally is doomed to, which you can't deny is the penalty of marriage. There is, however, another subject on which the Queen feels most strongly, and that is this horrible, brutalizing, un-Christian, like vivisection. It must really not be permitted. It is a disgrace to a civilized country. Oh, was ever woman so blessed as I am? Being married gives one one's position like nothing else can. What you say of the pride of giving life to an immortal soul is very fine, dear, but I own I cannot enter into that. I think much more of our being like a cow or a dog at such moments, when our poor nature becomes so very animal and ecstatic. Nothing will turn a man's home into a castle more quickly and effectively than a dachshund. Great events make me quiet and calm. It is only trifles that irritate my nerves. The important thing is not what they think of me, but what I think of them. We are not interested in the possibilities of defeat. They do not exist. Just close your eyes and think of England. Beware of artists. They mix with all classes of society and are therefore most dangerous. I positively think that ladies, who are always and seem quite disgusting, it is more like a rabbit or guinea pig than anything else, and really it is not very nice. Bring me a cup of tea and the Times. I would venture to warn against too great intimacy with artists, as it is very seductive and a little dangerous. Give my people plenty of beer, good beer, and cheap beer, and you will have no revolution among them. I feel sure that no girl would go to the altar if she knew all. To the bishop who suggested the widowed Queen now consider herself as married to Christ, that's what I call twaddle. That book the Bible accounts for the supremacy of England. Lord Aberdeen was quite touched when I told him I was so attached to the dear Highlands and missed the fine hills so much. There is a great peculiarity about the Highlands and Highlanders, and they are such a chivalrous, fine, active people. The Queen has done all she could on the dreadful subject of vivisection, and hopes that Mr. Gladstone will speak strongly against such a practice, which is a disgrace to humanity. Everybody grows but me. He speaks to me as if I was a public meeting. We will not have failure, only success and new learning. Men never think, at least seldom think. What a hard task it is for us women to go through this very often. God's will be done, and if he decrees that we are to have a great number of children, why we must try to bring them up as useful and exemplary members of society. Affairs go on, and all will take some shape or other, but it keeps one in hot water all the time. An ugly baby is a very nasty object, and the prettiest is frightful. A marriage is no amusement, but a solemn act, and generally a sad one. I am every day more convinced that we women, if we are to be good women, feminine and amiable and domestic, are not fitted to reign. At least it is they that drive themselves to the work which it entails. The poor fatherless baby of 8 months is now the utterly broken-hearted and crushed widow of 42, My life as a happy one is ended. The world is gone for me. If I must live on, and I will do nothing to make me worse than I am, it is henceforth for our poor fatherless children, for my unhappy country, which has lost all in losing him, and in only doing what I know and feel he would wish. We placed the wreaths upon the splendid granite sarcophagus and at its feet, and felt that only the earthly robe we loved so much was there. The pure, tender, loving spirit which loved us so tenderly is above us, loving us, praying for us, and free from all suffering and woe. Yes, that is a comfort, and that first birthday in another world must have been a far brighter one than any in this poor world below. His purity was too great, his aspiration too high for this poor, miserable world. His great soul is now only enjoying that for which it was worthy. Since it has pleased Providence to place me in this station, I shall do my utmost to fulfill my duty towards my country. I am very young and perhaps in many, though not in all things inexperienced, but I am sure that very few have more real goodwill and more real desire to do what is fit and right than I have. Being pregnant is an occupational hazard of being a wife. Oh, that peace may come. I think people really marry far too much. It is such a lottery after all, and for a poor woman a very doubtful happiness. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like our videos.